We have reached the 11 o'clock hour, and you know what that means. It's time for some Kings talk. And it's been a little dry these last couple weeks, but we have what they are calling a competitive workout happening this week. And that was broken right here on Sactown Sports, because of course it was. Home of your Sacramento Kings, the flagship. Kyle Draper, the one with some things to say. And Kyle Draper, he had this information. Let's hear what Kyle had to say yesterday before we get into all of it.
I'm ready for my guys to get back. I'm ready for this season to begin. I was over at Phenom and Doko, the sneaker store. Shout out to them. I had to get laced up. Got some new drip for the season, some new sneakers I'm going to be unveiling once the season began. And typically, August is like quiet time in the NBA. Guys go on vacation, stuff like that. But I know our guys are coming back to Sac, starting to begin, some workouts. And I got word of some of the guys that they're working out with in the gym. And usually I wouldn't bring this up because you hear, all right, they got this guy, but these are some pretty big names, that they're including in their pickup runs, really just working out. I don't know about trying them out or anything like that, but these are pickup runs, stay in condition.
And this is a Kings they're organizing?
Yeah, Kings, some of the players are back from their vacations or whatever. They're in the gym right now. And I bring this up because these names were so interesting. Tony Bradley.
Okay.
Juan Toscano-Anderson.
JTA.
Lonnie Walker.
Ooh.
Isaiah Thomas.
Nice.
The pizza guy, Jay, is working.
Kyle Draper. He had the name for a competitive workout, so that's right. Not a tryout technically, but obviously they want to cook. And Isaiah Thomas, fan favorite, Tony Bradley. There's your beef right there. There's your length 6'11" guy right there. JTA, who spent some time with the Kings last season, and Lonnie Walker. Chris, you saw this news. You thought, I could probably guess what you thought.
What did I think?
No. I'm going to let you say it.
Well, that's no fun.
As well, you're going to say, well, okay, fine. We'll do it. Big. If I said big deal, little deal, no deal, you'd really want to say no deal, but you'd probably say little deal.
I will say it's no deal. How about that? How about that for you? It's cool. I mean, it's really, really cool. And I'm not saying no deal in the sense of there will be no deal that comes of this. It's very well might happen that Isaiah Thomas, Lonnie Walker, but frankly, I mean, just none of these guys are really impact players. Like we saw Juan Toscano-Anderson like last year get some run.
Well, no. Hold on. JTA. He single-handed. He was the
greatest
KD
13 seconds
stopper.
ever
the
seen.
KD stopper. And they didn't beat the Suns a lot.
No.
Okay, so one of the wins that they did get was because of JTA. Now continue.
I can't forget it. No. It's a very, very important contextual nugget to throw in there. I can't say he's not impactful when, he definitely impacted a win for the Kings last year. It's just all these guys are end of the rotation type guys. I think it's great that they are still working guys out, even though Drape's kind of said there, it's not really even a workout, which again, I would say, or like a team sanctioned, hey, we are trying to sign these guys. And though, to be honest with you, I don't really know the difference because I've never heard, Sean Cunningham also reported some stuff, pretty much this exactly, and called it a competitive workout in quotes.
Right.
Don't really know what to do with that information. Like, I don't really know if this is it. The way Kyle's framing it there definitely sounds like it's not team sanctioned or anything like that. It is just simply, hey, we want to get our guys some run. And I think that's also really just an interesting thing because I don't think I've ever heard anybody bringing in or having in, I won't even say bringing in, having in ex-pros to kind of work out in team facilities with the thought of, hey, this is getting our rostered guys ready for the season. Of course, it's great practice, and I'm sure these guys, it gets them in front of a GM or at least in an NBA building, so it makes sense from all sides. But just a really interesting story. And, yeah, I probably wouldn't expect any of these guys to get actual contracts. Maybe a Lonnie Walker, maybe a JTA, maybe an Isaiah Thomas gets a training camp invite, but I don't think much is going to come from this. And if it does, I think JTA and Lonnie Walker are probably the names to look at just because Tony Bradley, with the signing of Orlando Robinson, not quite sure where Tony Bradley's minutes would come. Isaiah Thomas, like that's really a question mark of, he's obviously not starting. He's not going to play, I wouldn't think, over Jordan McLaughlin. I would think that Isaiah might just be a really great locker room guy and somebody to kind of teach. Not that this Kings team is extra young either, but maybe just to kind of teach them a level of professionalism. You lose HB in the locker room. Of course, DeMar is a fantastic locker room presence, but you can never have too many good locker room guys, I guess.
I love Isaiah Thomas.
Yeah.
I really
and
do.
I feel bad for just kind of describing him at this point in his career as just a locker room guy, but I do think that's kind of what he is.
I mean, he was with the Suns last season. He didn't really get any.
A lot of people last season.
But what? Well, no, but he actually got on the roster and was on the roster as they got towards the end of the season. I just think that the Kings, they can't afford. I think there's certain teams out there that can afford to use a spot on Isaiah Thomas. I just don't think the Kings can afford to. You're still trying to figure out what rotation you're going to have. Every roster spot is so incredibly important. And I love Isaiah Thomas. I can't say it enough. He is the epitome of when we're talking to Scott Moak or whoever it is, and the whole running joke of, that's one of that Alan, that's your type of guy. Isaiah Thomas is the epitome of my type of guy. I mean, he's left-handed. Okay. He's right there.
Yep.
He's right there. He's the Zonts United.
Yep.
Okay. But he's turning 36 in February. He's 35 years old now. And I just don't think the Kings, I can't sit here and be upset or not understand the Devin Carter pick. Sure. All right. Or Jordan McLaughlin, any of these guards, and then say, because I like Isaiah Thomas, bring him in.
Right.
At least I could say JTA gives you some type of wing depth.
Yeah.
I can't say that for Isaiah Thomas. So, and I don't even know, Chris, at this point, I'm sure the only reason this is in the news for us is because it's the Kings. I'm sure this is what Isaiah Thomas does every season. I'm sure he has a couple workouts that he does, and he hopes to get picked up. This probably won't be the last one for him. Yeah. But, I love the idea of it. But in reality, there's no way I can, and I'm going to say be okay with it, but there's no way I would be excited from the standpoint of this is going to help our job. When we sit down here from 10 a.m., 2 p.m., we're talking about the Kings. We're talking about getting the Kings to compete.
Yes.
And I don't think that Isaiah Thomas helps the Kings compete.
Close.
Like you said, we're not talking about the Blazers or some extremely young team. These dudes, most of them are in their prime. They've been around the block. I mean,
Keegan's the oldest 24-year-old we've ever met.
Exactly. So the Kings are the last team that needs somebody to reel them in. Go over to
we actually need the opposite.
Exactly.
Need somebody
loosen
to
up.
Unreel them.
Yeah. Go loosen up. So I love Isaiah Thomas. Love what he did. Obviously, we know the story with his sister passing away. Yeah. We understand all of that. But from a basketball standpoint, not a needle mover for me.
Yeah, definitely not. I think I will say, though, just to live in the world and just to kind of talk about it, because I do think, like Isaiah is, Whitey and Drapes are doing their best 40 Kings of all time. And it would be a great reunion, like regardless of all the other stuff. And if he does sign here and doesn't play, or does sign here and plays great or plays disappointing to others, I think it would just be a great reunion. I mean, like Isaiah, for his career to kind of go full 180 or I guess it would be full 360 at that point. For him to leave start his career first off, last pick in the draft, the whole story of everything, become a 20-point per game scorer here in Sacramento. Unfortunately, not be able to continue his career in Sacramento, and then kind of journeyman his way for a year or two, find his footing in Boston, have the amazing season he has, and then kind of fall back to, I won't even say back to reality, but unfortunately just kind of fall from the graces of where he was in just one season. It would just be great to have him kind of feel the love again. And, he's been searching more than anyone I think I've ever seen in an NBA career just for an opportunity. He really does truly just want to play basketball. And I think it would be awesome to give him that moment of getting a standing ovation in front of Golden One. He never got to play at Golden One. I just think Kings fans would treat him better than he's ever been treated.
You have definitely swayed me on bringing him in a JTA stint, right, where he plays a couple games.
Sure, that would even be fine. Just give him literally give him a 10-day contract.
A 10-day.
Give him a moment.
Yes, I think the problem is, to be completely honest with you, as we've known, Isaiah Thomas, it's not going to end for him. He'll have that.
He doesn't want that.
He doesn't want that. He will do
that.
That was cool.
Yeah.
But now I'm off to the Maverick. I'm trying to do something else.
Yeah.
That is how it should end. To me, I think you're spot on.
Yeah.
But as we've known Isaiah Thomas, he is not taking no for it. I mean, you talk about make someone else take the shoes off. They've been trying to pull them shoes off Isaiah Thomas for the last 5 years. But let's throw it to the phone lines. 916-339-1140. Would you welcome an Isaiah Thomas return, or has the train left the station for the king of the fourth? Also, some of the other guys that we will get into on the other side. Tony Bradley, I'm firing up his highlights right now. He played with the G League team for the Mavericks, the Texas Legends last season. Lonnie Walker, everybody likes Lonnie Walker because of that one quarter. But what else you got? If you're going to call in talking about Lonnie Walker, you are not allowed to bring up that one quarter from a couple years ago against the Warriors. You got to bring us something else. And JTA, well, I'll argue for JTA myself. Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports.
On the move, got somewhere to